Hello guys, first time I've done one of these videos, but it might help some people out. I want to show you my homemade belt tensioner for a Bosch Athlet 25 volt cordless vacuum cleaner, because the belt wears and they get big. You can't buy one anywhere. I've not found one on eBay or Amazon or anywhere. Or on a Google search, and Bosch want you to buy a brand new head for 85 quid and throw away all the bits that have got a lot more life in them. And I just hate this throwaway culture that we live in, so I thought I'd see what I could do to fix it. So maybe it won't last long, but you know, 6 months, a year, 2 years, it's better than throwing it away now. And maybe the batteries will be gone by then, so I can buy a whole new one rather than just keep mucking about with bits of it and then buy some other bits. And I don't know. My parents' vacuum cleaner and an old metal Hoover, it lasted about 30 years, and I've got a Miele plug-in one that's going strong at 15, and it's like new, to be honest. But of course we don't want to plug things in anymore, do we? Just want to pick them up and walk around the house with them. So anyway, this is my attempt to make this one last a bit longer, and I think it's going to work. So first of all, I want to say thanks to 5 Minute Man for YouTube channel for the video on how to get the head apart, because I probably would have given up without that video, or broken it. And beyond that, you don't need many things. You need a screw and a nut, which a funny shaped nut, which come with the screws. I never knew what I'd use those nuts for, but I'm using it for this. And some brass ferrules, or one that you cut up with a hacksaw to make it shorter. I've used some thread lock and some lithium grease and a hacksaw. So first of all, the brass ferrules. Let's just change the tab on the computer. I got those from Amazon. I already had them, and that's what they look like. You get 10 of them, and here's the page from Amazon. And they're called Sourcing Map brass round tube, 7mm outside diameter, 1mm wall thickness, so that means 5mm internal diameter, 30mm length seamless pipe tubing for DIY crafts, 10 pieces, £7.19 prime, next day delivery. So they were good. The other bits, these screws, M5 times L50 with flat heads. They're from B&Q. The nuts come with the screws. I've just put these in, separated them out and put them in a separate bag. And then I've got these, I've used a couple of washers, but you don't need to use the washers if you cut the ferrule to the right length. But I didn't, so I've put a couple of washers in there, and I had to file both sides opposite each other flat to fit in between these notches that hold the nut in place and hold the bits of the plastic together, the top and bottom of the plastic housing together. And basically you have to go down 7.5mm from the top of the I'm reluctant to do it because I keep losing the video and having to start again. So you go down 7.5mm from there to the center of the hole. And then I drilled with a 1.5mm drill first time to get it accurate. You've also got to get it exactly, let's get the light right, you've got to get it exactly in the middle between these two, between these two lugs. and then the nut will just fit perfectly. So 1.5mm drill, just a high-speed drill, then 3mm, then 4mm, then 5mm. I tried 4.8mm and it was too tight, so I had to do 5, and then it fitted perfectly. 7.5mm down for the center, and exactly in the center between the two lugs. Straight through that, and then you put your screw in with the nut on the other side. I put a bit of thread locker on it to make sure it doesn't come loose. If you had the brass ferrule the right length, I reckon 13mm would do you. I made mine a little bit too short, and I didn't want to cut another one because I'm tight and lazy. And instead I just cut a couple of flats in the washers and put them between the lugs, the plastic lugs, just to space it out. I've used a little bit of lithium grease between the brass ferrule and the screw, and then I screwed it up tight. It's flathead screw, so I've just used a great big screwdriver, and I held those with a wrench. Just, I mean, you can get it pretty tight without, but I didn't want to break the lugs, so I held the lugs like that while I was tightening it to get it nice and tight. Now, the other end you're probably worrying about, won't it just fall off? Well, no, it won't fall off, because here's the bottom. So it's this screw hole here, and you can see that you've got this big thing there. It's got a load of I don't know what you call it, a big plastic something, sorry, can't think of the word, but it fits down over that, and it's exactly where the ferrule is. So the ferrule might chew into it a little bit, but it's not I can't see it coming off, and it's, you know, it's only got to stay in there for a couple of years, or even if it only lasts 6 months, it's still better than nothing. And maybe I could then fix it again afterwards, but let's see what happens. I suspect it'll wear out the bearings in the motor with the extra tension before that, but maybe not. Let's see what's happened. I also put a little bit of grease on the bearing in here, because that hadn't had any since we bought the thing probably 5 or 6 years ago. And the only other thing you need to know, I think, is that I used this clamp to hold the main body to the head, because otherwise it keeps coming out and pulling on the wires, and I didn't want to have to make to resolder the wires or repair broken connections inside the plastic or any shit like that. So this is just a standard carpenter's or woodworkers I don't know what you call them, quick clamp, but I only bought those recently, but I was glad I had that. Came in useful. And there you can see it doing its job. And I won't show you on the video because I'm not video editing, and I don't really want to make 2 videos, but I have reassembled it enough to well, actually maybe I can. I've got the head, the rest of it down here with the battery. As you can see, it's all a bloody mess in here. I've been I was up till 5 AM last night doing this, and then decided to stop, but I will show you it working. So if we put it on there, like that, it's on, and lift it up there. I won't come up to rest that on my knee. Oh. Sorry guys, this is a bit shit, isn't it? But I'm working alone and doing the best I can. So first stage of vacuum doesn't activate the motor. Second stage does. So you can see the reason it came out is simply because the lug, the plastic lug I showed you before on the underside that would hold it in place isn't there. But I have assembled it enough with both sides, and I'm not going to do that for this video, but it did stay in place and it worked perfectly. So anyway, I hope that's useful to you. Just the dimensions again, if you cut the bolt to 17mm and the brass ferrule to 13mm, I reckon that'll do the trick. And if not, you can make up some spaces from a couple of washers if you file the edges flat such that they fit in between where is it, in between the lugs, the plastic lugs. I didn't want to leave it sitting proud of the plastic lugs, because then it would have turned with the ferrule, and I think it would have eaten into the plastic lugs pretty quickly then and damaged them. So I think this is a better way out of it for me, but ideally just cut your ferrule to the right length in the first place. Anyway, hope that helps. I don't need any thumbs up or any shit like that, but if you've got any comments, I'll read them. And thanks again to 5 Minute Man for inspiring me in the first place. I'll put a link in his video to my video, which might help some people. Cheers guys.